We equally wish to warn those who are still unpersuaded that members of Lagos House of Assembly should be allowed to exercise their democratic freedom to desist from plotting against genuine democracy, which the recent events in the Assembly perfectly signifies. Any attempt to foist Right Honourable Obasa as a perpetual and untouchable Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly is a huge disservice to democracy and most unwarranted on the collective integrity of Lagosians and the generality of the electorate. Moving forward, we are indeed glad that Lagos House of Assembly is fully back to legislative business after more than 3 weeks of necessary apprehensions. We urge Right Honourable Speaker Mojisola Meranda not to be distracted by distractors and selfish interlopers undermining democracy by seeking to overturn popular legislative decisions that became expedient in the desire to move the Legislative Assembly forward. CHSR and other civil society partners will continue to monitor the situation at the Lagos State House of Assembly. We remain convinced that democracy can only succeed when collective interest of the overwhelming majority is not subsumed under the selfish agenda of individual or group of individuals seeking to be the lord of the manor in feudalistic conclave. Our demand. We hereby demand that the Lagos State House of Assembly member must be allowed to exercise unfettered freedom in conducting legislative business. The Speaker chosen by the majority of members must be allowed to preside over the business of the House without intimidation or harassment. Lastly, democracy must not be trampled or surrendered. Thank you all for coming. God bless Lagos State. God bless Nigeria. Still remain a speaker. You know why Obasa have the effrontery to do so? It's because they have already set a division among the rank of the so-called governing advising council. Some are for Obasa, some are against. That's the reason why people are coming out to say the due process was not followed. I want to ask this question again. Obasa ought to have told the public the due process that was supposed to be followed, because by that section of section 92 of the Constitution that give room for the election of Speaker, it stated clearly the composition, the number of the quorum to elect Speaker, and the composition to remove Speaker. So if there's any other process that Obasa ought to have told the public, in which we don't know, even before we come up, like I told you, we have to do our own research. We have to go through the constitution, because this is a constitutional matter. This is a democracy. We know what we put in. We lost some of our loved ones in the struggle to ensure democracy in this country. These people that are benefiting this democracy today, I'm not sorry to say it, 99% of them were nowhere to be found when the military were on top gear, were harassing activists, were harassing journalists. Today they are benefiting democracy, and that's why they didn't bother to scuttle that democracy at any time just to benefit their interests. So let him tell us, or tell the world, the due process he demanded for them to be followed. We are also for due process. Thank you. That is
and, in addition, the Yorubas have been saying that there is no smoke without fire, and eternal vigilance remains the major ingredient for democracy. So when you look at those two quotations, you appreciate why we have to intervene the way we have intervened. When we were talking about not following due process and the rest, I think just like my comrade said, rightly noted, he might come out and tell us the definition of his own due process. From the grapevine, we understand that the due democracy might be that, okay, you didn't tell the Godfather quote that we want to remove this person, we want to put another person. You understand? All those things are extraneous to democracy. Very, very extraneous to democracy. The things that are pure about democracy, and as far as the Lagos State House of Assembly or any House of Assembly in Nigeria is concerned, is that once the majority of the members are resolved to remove their speaker, they do not need any ceremony. The constitution is very clear about that, and it has happened in several states. Lagos State will not be the first. So I think we should be very clear about that. The reason why we are concerned is the fact that, aside from being a major stakeholders in this democracy, we are the conscience of this nation, especially you, the media. I've also been in the media before. I've worked with NTA and many others. I read mass comm and police before I went to lie. So it's very clear, and you people, the journalists, should get it very clear. Now we are particularly concerned because we do not want any godfather or any whatever powerful human being to scuttle this democracy, because they didn't suffer more than us when we were fighting for this democracy. They didn't suffer more than us, and that is just the truth.
Any other